Joining us now to get his take on all of this is retired Army General Jack Keane. He is a Fox News senior strategic analyst. General, thank you for joining us. What do you make of this explosion?
Well, the Russians are notorious for having below standards in terms of safety and maintenance. And they clearly have great scientists and engineers, and they've always been able to develop advanced technology systems. And that's clearly what they're trying to do here. But they've had problems with this system in the past. And for viewers to understand, if you can put a small nuclear reactor in a cruise missile, then you have actually taken away the restriction of range, and it can circumnavigate any place in the globe, and it provides a huge advantage to somebody who owns that weapon system. So that's what's at stake here. Most of our scientists and engineers are quite skeptical about the ability to achieve this kind of new technology breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, they put out a video earlier that we later determined was doctored, saying that they had this technology. And at the time, you know, folks were skeptical. What does this explosion tell you about whether or not they ever had that weapons capability, or, you know, what does it mean in that sense?
Well, they never had the capability. That was a computer-generated video having nothing to do with actual reality, and it was aspirational, to be sure, and it was done in concert with Putin's State of the Union. And interesting enough, as this missile is circumnavigating part of the globe, it found itself into Florida as its ultimate destination. And there's a lot of hubris surrounding all of that, and I think Putin clearly overselling a technology that is still in its aspirational stages.
Yeah, a lot of people think of Chernobyl when they hear about this accident, not even remotely on the same scale, I imagine. But what is the fallout from this? Well,
the Russians have had problems here before. I mean, just recently, that one of the munitions plant blew up, and they lost one person, 14, 15 others evacuated. This was just a week or so ago, and 16,000 people were evacuated. And then last month, they had a fire on a nuclear-powered submarine, and 14 sailors were killed. And back in 2000, we know they lost a nuclear-powered submarine Kursk to an underwater explosion, and the entire crew was perished. So they have issues, and as you mentioned, Chernobyl certainly is the most notable of all of that. They just do not abide by international safety standards, and the United States sets the standard when it comes to nuclear power safety standards.
Can I ask you real quick before we run out of time, what do you make of the protests that we're seeing that are going on in Russia? You know, does Putin have the iron grip that we think he does? We're showing some video of it right here now. He celebrated 20 years in power last week. What do you make of these protests? Big deal or not a big deal?
Well, I think it's a very big deal. Obviously, Putin is an authoritarian. He runs a repressive regime. He conducts a massive information campaign against his own people, trying to make it appear that life is better than what it is, blaming the United States for every problem that they have. And here, what these people are upset about is he's denying opposition politicians the right to run for the city council in Moscow. And he's repressing it, as he has done in other local and state governments. And there's been protests also in other cities in support of this. And this is the 5th protest that's taken place in Moscow. And what they have done, and we don't have a lot of video on it, is they have viciously beat back these protests. They have thousands and thousands of police en masse with batons beating back these protesters. They're also going into their homes and arresting them. They've got hundreds of them in the jailhouses, and they're giving them, in some cases, 8-year sentences for conducting what everyone who has observed it has said. It's been a peaceful civil protest on the part of the demonstrators.
Wow, something to watch for sure. General Keane, thank you for joining us tonight. So much insight. We really appreciate it.
Good talking to you, Melissa.